Hi everyone, Phil from Tech for Techs here. How are you doing today? Right, your PC is running a little bit warm. You need to add a new fan to it, but you also want to add a little bit of jazz, so a bit of RGB or mood lighting, depending on what you want to do. So it looks nice and red inside, or green, blue, or pink or purple, depending on what your preference is. Well, that's where this product from Akasa comes in. It's the SOHO AR, which is basically an addressable RGB fan, which in even more basics means is if you've got a aRGB header on your motherboard or controller in your PC, you plug this fan into it and then it will light up, and then you can choose the colouring of the light, so you can have it sort of a rainbow effect or blue, green or whatever, which is pretty cool. But not only that, because it's a fan, it's going to be able to obviously pull in fresh air into your computer or push it out the back, depending on how you have it set up. The recommended retail price of these is just under £22. So if you're interested in purchasing this, take a look at the links in the description below. Before we go on to the main video, if you would do us a favour, click that like button, subscribe, click the bell as well. That way you'll get notifications of new videos and live streams we do. Again, doing all these things helps support the channel, and helping to support the channel allows us to release more videos, better quality videos, and more content exclusively just for you. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the SOHO AR from Akasa. It's a, well, basically addressable RGB fan. So it says premium cooling fan with addressable RGB lights. You've got all your marks down the bottom saying it's compatible with all your common motherboards like ASRock, Gigabyte, Asus, MSI, and so forth. So on the side doesn't show you much. Other side, it shows you a few bits of information. This is obviously a 120mm fan. The fan goes between 500 and 2000 RPM. You've got 16 million colour combinations. It is addressable RGB. It's intelligent PWM speed control. That basically means it changes the speed of the fan depending on how hot your computer is, depending on how you have it set up in your BIOS on your computer. And you've got extended fan life. It doesn't necessarily say why it's extended, but it says it. So on the back it shows you some information about it. You can see how it's designed. You've got all the information down here. It tells you about the dampening pads, the blade design, unique addressable RGB LED lighting, and so forth. Shows you the connection. So it's a 4-pin for your fan, so that plugs into your 4-pin fan connection on your motherboard. It is an addressable RGB connector, so that means you need an addressable RGB header on your motherboard. It's classed as a 3-pin. I call it 4-1 because the reason is it's 2 pins, it misses one, and then there's another pin. It's also known as 5 volts. There is a 12-volt version out there which does use 4-pin or 3-pin, which is slightly different layout, but that will not work. It has to be an aRGB header, which is 5 volt, which has got this 2 - 1 + 1 pin combination. Otherwise, that's it pretty much for the box. Okay, so inside the box, or should I say sleeve, there is another box which gives you even more specifications on there. So it tells you the thickness of it, which is 25mm, and so forth, and all your dimensions, as well as your cubic feet a minute and everything like that. So you can basically figure out anything you need to know on there. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. It does look like a nice box. Not sure anyone would actually use it afterwards, but it's got that sort of a chromey effect to it. Into the box itself, you've got the fan, and then you've got the screws. There is no instructions on there, but again, you shouldn't really need much in the way of instructions for this. It's a fan, you plug the 2 connections in and screw it into the case. But let me run you through it anyway. So you've got 8 screws in there, 4 for a radiator or 4 for screwing it into a case, depending on how you've got it designed and set up. You've got the fan itself, no manual as I said. It's got 2 cables on there, one for your fan, which is that one there. So that is your 4-pin fan connection. And then you've also got your 4-pin, or should I say 3-pin, or depending on how you want to class it as, it's 2-pin -1 +1 header. That's the 5-volt addressable RGB cable. The cable length on this, you are looking at, let's have a look, just over 40 centimeters, which is 400 millimeters long, so it should be long enough to plug into pretty much most things in your computer. It doesn't have like a double adapter on it or anything like that, so you can daisy chain them, unfortunately. It wouldn't be nice if they did have an option for that, so if you had lots of fans you could connect them all up. But still, you've got the fan itself, you've got rubberized corners, all 4, or should I say 8 corners, because it's on the reverse as well. You've got those blades on there as well. Looks like 9 blades if I count that right. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, so 9 blades in there. It says Akasa on there, so it's sort of got a sort of a sheen effect on it. And then you can see where the LED light is going to be running there. And I'm guessing you're going to see a bit of it on, possibly on the back as well, but I might be wrong. It might just be that front side you're seeing it on. Yeah, looking at it, it's probably just going to be the front side, but we'll look at it a bit closer in a few minutes. I don't know, I think it's slightly see-through on the sides as well. Looking at the box art, you should be able to see it on the sides. So that's a nice after effect. So that's pretty much it for it. There isn't much else to see. You've got the specifications on the back for all you who like to know. It's all there. So let's go and plug this in and see what it's like. Okay, as you can see here, we've got the fan set up. It's connected up to the motherboard, so it's using the motherboard software to control the lights. Obviously, to set lights and stuff like that, you will have to do that via your motherboard software, or controller, depending on if you're using a controller. As you can see, you've got the light ring around the front, but also if you look at the top or the sides, you can see it's got like a jewel ring effect there as well, and you can partially see it going through to the back as well. So that looks pretty good. So you don't have to worry about it being seen, and we're in pretty bright light at the moment, and you can easily see this, so it's a nice bright effect. It doesn't light up the blades or anything like that because the blades are black, but it does light up the surrounding area and it'll make the inside of your case look fairly nice. You can change obviously the effects of the lights depending on your motherboard and so forth, just to give you a rough idea. Sorry about the shaky camera, holding it and doing this at the same time. So there you go. So as you can see, you can have sweeping rings going round, dancing lights. You can set it to specific colours if you want. It's really up to you how you want it set up and so forth. Everyone obviously is different. You can get it set up for colour cycles, double flashing, pulsing and so forth. A good thing about these sort of lights, these are addressable RGB lights, which basically means each individual light on the fan can be a different colour. Compared to the traditional RGB, means the whole fan has to be the same colour at the same time. So that means traditional RGB, the fan has to be all blue or all red. Don't get me wrong, it can fade from one to the other, but the whole thing has to be the same colour at the same time. Or at least on this type of fan, which is addressable, you can have each individual part of the fan a different colour. So for example, at the moment you can see the blue, which is moving around. You've got the purple, the red, yellow, green and so forth, and you can get that rotating at different speeds, again depending on your motherboard software. For example, if I put it on high speed, you can see there the colours are rotating around quickly. Again, the lights in the studio don't make it look the best, in all honesty, because it gets a bit washed out with all the lights around, but it gives you a good idea what it'll look like. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. It's really appreciated you made it all the way to the end. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and even click that bell so you get notifications of new videos and live streams. It does help support the channel, and supporting the channel basically means that we can release more content for you and also better quality content going forward. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.